I seek the indulgence of the House to respond to the gracious remarks made by the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition and other members of the House. I start by thanking the House for the enormous privilege in taking this office. Today, becoming the 32nd Speaker of the House and following my friend, the member for Fisher, and a former Speaker in the chamber today, Tony Smith, is a day that they know I'll never forget. Speakers are supposed to be dragged to the chair due to fear. It's a tradition I understand, and I'm feeling quite a bit of fear right now. But when you were dragged to the chair by people of the calibre of the members for Macquarie and the members for Bendigo, two of the strongest women I've met in my life, fear is the last thing I think of when I think of them. The member for Macquarie is a woman of warmth, strength, resilience and integrity, and particularly today the strength she's shown for nominating me here today. The member for Bendigo is a warrior, fiercely loyal, always protesting and always standing up for what she believes in. And I don't just thank them for nominating me today with their words, I thank them for their friendship, kindness and belief in me. I have many friends in this place, literally all over the chamber. Some might say too many on the left, some might say too many on the right. I want to recognise people like the member for Bonner, who was an old family friend, the members for Capricornia and the members for Wright, and alongside my old mate, the member for Treasurer, the Minister for Aged Care and the member for Blair, with the Leader of the Opposition, it's a Queensland unity ticket. Well, at least for 3 nights of the year when the Origin is on. Sorry, PM. But to the Prime Minister, thank you for your friendship and support. The Prime Minister has never wavered in his belief in this House and its power to make the lives of ordinary Australians better. These are the values I know that every member of the House will strive to uphold. This morning, I learned something that we both share in common. Our late mums both believed in good manners. To the Leader of the Opposition and the Manager of Opposition Business, I congratulate you on your new roles. You have my respect, and I know you will give it your best, and I wish you well. To the Deputy Prime Minister, through good and bad, you've stood there always encouraging me. I value your counsel and friendship. And to the Leader of the House, I met you around 30 years ago, that's correct, and I always knew you would be a leader in this place, though I never thought I'd be sitting in this place, let alone in this high office. Your encouragement and belief in me to enter this House in 2016 is something I will cherish and never forget, but don't expect an easy ride. To the member for Kennedy, I appreciate your very kind words and acknowledgement of our hometown connection. I look forward, I think, to your robust contributions to this House. But at a time like today, it is a time for reflection, and reflection on my own life and my own family, and I reflect on my great-grandparents. They came with nothing but their faith and their belief in their children succeeding if they got a fair go. Back in the 1860s from Scotland. Joseph Park Allen's descendants, my great-grandfather, are in the chamber today. My sister and some of my cousins, all strong, fearless women. In his memoir, J.P. Allen talks about leaving Scotland to come to Australia, and he says, "Needless to say, we're all very excited having at last made a start for this wonderful country we had heard so much about." And when he arrived in Queensland, he reflected on his experience, saying, "I've often wondered since how we stood such a severe test. 2 lads, just 10 and 12, just fresh from a cold climate, dumped into the hottest part of North Queensland summer and to travel through the mountain ranges and dense scrub from Port Douglas to Charters Towers. They often say they breed them tough in Queensland, and that's my background. And unfortunately, my brother cannot be here today, as his obligations are with another House, more specifically the Queensland budget estimate process, which he is loving at the moment. I'm enormously proud of him, but even prouder of my sister Susan in the gallery, a teacher for over 34 years and someone who passionately believes in the transformational nature of education. But that's my story, and we all have a story about why we are here and what we want to achieve. But this chamber should be a place of ideas and energy, and I want to allow debate to flow with the very best ideas to be exchanged in a respectful manner. It's probably fair to say every speaker has said these words of some way or another over the years. But the difference is the people of Australia have sent a very clear message on how they expect politics to be conducted. They want something different. And I'm keen to work with every member to see that change, but I need every member to commit to that change to make it work. And I also want to improve on civics education and awareness in this country. Every school across the country should be able to participate in a Schools and Parliament program. And I want to help make sure that this Parliament is more inclusive and open to Australians of all walks of life. And of course, one of the most pressing matters before this Parliament is making sure that this place and building is a safe workplace, and every person who works here feels safe and is safe. In the last Parliament, we saw the Jenkins Review highlight the ways that this building has failed to keep its occupants safe. However, it also presented a roadmap to ensure that we protect the people that we are responsible for. I take my responsibilities as a presiding officer in implementing the recommendations of this report very seriously. And I look forward to working with the Senate President and the incoming Deputy Speaker and all members to address this and other matters. I want to welcome the 35 new members of this House. As you know, you're only one of about 1,200 people ever been elected. One bit of advice: cherish every moment, make every day count. To the crossbench, I'm looking forward to working with you. No member of this House is simply red, blue, green, or a mixture of blue and green. Some of you belong to parties, some of you are independent. But to me, as Speaker, you are all members of the House of Representatives, elected by your constituents to represent their interests. My message to every member in this place is simple: my door is open. I've indicated I'll be stepping away and not attending ALP caucus meetings, an important step that is befitting of my role and the importance of impartiality in this chair. In conclusion, I briefly thank many for assisting me to becoming Speaker. To the utterly professional staff in the department, including clerks and table officers, I thank you and I look forward to working with you. To my many friends and family that can't be here, and to my wonderful electorate staff who have been such a support for me for many years, I thank you for your service to myself and to the people of Oxley. To my dearest and oldest friends, the Ministers for Communication and Social Services, you've literally been by my side my whole life, and I can't wait to give you a hard time. Honourable members, we are also privileged to be elected to this chamber. I resolve to do everything I can to fairly and uphold the standing orders. I want to make sure your voice is heard loudly, clearly, and at all times fairly, with respect being shown through you to the people who have elected you without fear or favour.